Yeah. Welcome back to RedIn30. I'm glad to see y'all again. I hope y'all glad to see us as well. It's RedIn30 where we make you 30, or red in 30 minutes, literally. Here we go. This is called No Problem. Let's go. If you could. Yeah.
Just see it for what it is.
What it is right now.
Free your soul from what it is that they did.
Free your soul.
Accept the times. You're living by what you learn.
Yeah.
Ashes up in the iron. Like Ursula, just let it burn. Let it go. Do what you already know. Just watch the throne. Cause the kingdom ain't never fall.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure they told you they love you, I know they don't.
Turn it up.
Outside, yeah, spread it cold. I know the loving could keep you warm. All over the world, I know where you've been. Just bring your boy your problem, I can solve.
Hey, he said, come under me.
It's mine over the body when we're talking.
Yeah.
Just put me in the game, I bet that you win. Thought you fell in love, but here I am to save the day. You ain't gotta ask me, I'm gon' love fade away. It's no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem, it's no problem. Tell me all your secrets, I heard what you had to say. But you ain't had to tell me, cause I love you anyway.
What it is?
No problem,
no problem.
no problem, no problem. It's no problem. For what it's worth, I love you for what it's worth.
I love you.
I know your worth. I know exactly how much you're worth.
I know your worth.
Forget the hurt. Give you the word, you forget the worst. You been through hell, now you back to earth. You be the flower, I be the dirt. Beam me up, Captain Kirk. Take you to space like I'm Captain Kirk. Give you a raise like a Louis purse. Making you praise like you in the church. In the church.
In the church. Hallelujah.
I know you love me, I love you first. Love you first.
Hallelujah.
I know you love me, I love you first. Love you first. All over the world, I know where you've been. Bring your boy your problem, I can solve them. It's mine over the body when we're talking. Just put me in the game, I bet that you
bring it in.
Thought you fell in love, but here I am to save the day. You ain't gotta ask me, I'm gon' love pain away. It's no problem.
What it is?
No problem.
No problem at all.
No problem.
There's really no problems, EJ. Yeah.
No problem.
No problem.
You ain't had to tell me, cause I love you anyway.
What it is? No problem.
No problem. It's no problem.
Well.
You know I'm telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
But I'ma hold you down.
Talk to him.
Hold you down.
Got you.
I got you.
Nah, no problem. It's no problem at all.
What it been?
All over the world, I know where you've been.
All over the world.
Just bring your boy your problem, I can solve.
Cause there ain't really no problems at all.
It's mine over the body when we're talking.
Yeah.
Just put me in the game, I bet that you
Let's go.
Thought you fell in love, but here I am to save the day.
Say the day.
You ain't gotta ask me, I'm gon' love pain away.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
What it
No
is?
problem.
What it
No
is?
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
I told you.
Tell me all your secrets, I heard what you had to say. But you ain't had to tell me, cause I love you anyway. It's no problem, no problem, no problem. It's no problem. All over the world, I know where you've been.
I know where you been.
Just bring your boy your problem, I can solve.
Bring him here. Yeah.
It's mine over the body when we're talking.
When we talking, let's talk.
Put me in the game, I bet that you win.
You win. Just put me in the game. I bet that you win. Yo, hey, this is RedIn30. We'll make you RedIn30. RedIn30 is a 30-day reading of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We believe in the entire Bible. We believe the Bible is a story about who you and I are. But we believe the red words tell us who we are in the story. All we talking about is Jesus, truth, and you all using
Red words.
red words. And we back at it again. I am DM. EJ, you back?
Hola.
Hola, that man say hola. I'll be ready for whatever, dog. So we here, man, we've been having such a great conversation. Yesterday's, I keep saying yesterday, but it might be the last episode. I don't know if it's a Friday or whatever, whatever day is. But the last episode is Let It Happen, and Let It Happen now because it's happening now. You was asking me something, EJ.
Yeah, so let it happen. I was thinking about it, and then I'm like, let it happen now.
Right.
So
Sounds so simple, don't it?
Yeah, it's so simple, right? And I'm thinking about it, it's like it clears up, basically everything that you got going on in your life. It really clear up everything. It's cross the board on everything. I'm thinking about. I'm like, let it happen now. They got things people are afraid of.
Yep.
They got things, you afraid of the past. You're afraid of what could happen in something.
Yeah.
Let it happen now.
Right. And
then your real self.
Well, that's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. What is it? It is you.
It is you.
Let the God in you, the real you, happen now.
Right.
This is what we need. We don't need that fabricated version.
Right.
That they built in you. I was saying even last episode, man, like even from we just been taught delay. Like I understand I understand progressions of growth. So I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is I'm focused on my little baby girl gonna be here soon, right?
Come on.
Well, when they watching this, she'll be here by now probably. But I'm focusing on allowing her. I'm gonna use the word allowing, but teaching as well. But I'm gonna teach in an allowing way to allow her to be everything she is in that moment.
Right.
So if she's a 4-year-old, I want her to be the God version of that 4-year-old.
Yep.
And that doesn't, we can't define it by what we think is defined by.
Right.
So it's like we think she's gonna come in and start saying the word of God. No, it's not. Stop.
Right.
I just need her to be able to be who she is and not be dumbed down to who they say she is.
Right.
Or what society says. You get it? So let it happen now is actually another way to say be humble.
Yeah.
Or allow humility.
Yeah.
Like and I love the first word. The first word, let. Not when we learn make it happen. Right? That's all on you. But when you let it happen,
he been saying it.
It's all on what's in you.
Been saying let.
You get it? He been saying let this mind.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Let him deny himself. Right? It's the conversation, but we miss those small words, and so we begin to think, let him deny himself. I mean, I gotta deny myself. No. It's an allowance.
Right.
You get it? And so let it happen now has really stuck with me just while we've been talking about it. And it really, like you said, it really solves the problem and it really calms you down.
Yeah.
Because there are also things, EJ, that we God let them have a king, even though that's not what he wanted for them.
All right.
So the let is very important.
Right.
But it's what you're letting. This is why you got to come to Jesus.
Yep.
This is why you have to come to the one that has the understanding of the hard gospel. Right now, and let it happen now is gonna be the next few episodes. But there's something I thought about was the hard gospel, right? And we'll elaborate on this during this podcast, but it's really not something to be elaborated or had to come. We live in a society. I said it last episode, especially in where we are now. I think it's the Western culture. I think they call it the West, right? Especially where we are now. We live in a society where you can have what you want, get what you want to get. You know what I'm saying? Have it your way, Burger King, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? The customer's always right. We live in a society where you get to vote on, or figuratively, you think you're voting on who winning. You think you're picking what's going on.
Right.
You think you're in control. So you have the society so much, and it feeds the idea of want. It feeds the idea of how you want it to be. Create your world.
Right.
This whole thing, right? And what we don't understand is the same concept that people are subscribed to when it comes down to themselves. For that is the same reason that the world is in the mayhem that it's in, or especially the culture that we live in. It is the same method. It is the same methodology and rhetoric that has all the drama. You get what I'm saying? But you're trying to use it to make yourself better. But same thing, so you got to kill that, deny yourself.
Right.
And the hard gospel, you say, what is the hard gospel? You ever had a hard cutoff date?
Yeah.
It's like, there's really no, they call it a grace period. If I say it's off on the 20th, it's over on the 20th.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a hard cutoff date. Like, it's hard. Like, we're not going to do nothing on the 21st. No, you can't. No, it's the 20th. That's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Or if I say, we're cutting it off at 50 people, it's a hard cutoff. Like, we can't. And then there's some things that demand a hard cutoff, like the weight limit on the elevator. Yeah, bro. Like we can't say, well, maybe it'll work out if we put an extra 20 pounds. No.
Right.
If that thing say 3,000 pounds or whatever, y'all better not go over 3,000 pounds. If the weight limit on a plane, I've flown thousands of hours in the air. I've seen times where there's luggage that we said, we couldn't bring that luggage, or we had to pack it. Like I'm talking private jet, we had to pack it because there's a weight limit. There's really a hard cutoff,
right?
And we can't be playing with that line.
A limiter.
You get what I'm saying? It's like it's a cut, right? So the hard gospel is that this is the gospel, and everything outside of this is grace. You get it?
Yep.
All right. So it starts off, that's how the law looked, and they were trying to tell you, keep the law and different things of that nature. But it's just the hard gospel. And the hard gospel, it sounds like it's tough right now. And we've the branding that the gospel and Christ and even the law, right? Like the law, bro, this is crazy, EJ, what I'm about to say. That's crazy, EJ. Listen to this. The branding, oh my God, the system and the Satan, I like the Satan because it's an evil influence, right? It's Satan and all that, but it's the evil influence has deceived the simplicity of Christ and have made the law and the hard gospel seem like it's the difficult thing when it's actually the freeing thing. The law actually frees you into your being. Wow. Live right here on RedIn30, you heard it, that we've been deceived and delayed because here's why. You ready? If you've been given all of these options and you think that all of these options are what life is, then when I narrow it down, remember you said the wide path and the narrow path? Yeah. When I narrow it down, you think that you're being held back from all of the options, which are actually illusions that are available.
Yep.
You see the trick?
Yep.
It's like it's like I'm trying to describe it. When you look at the law, even just the 10 Commandments, right? When you look at a lot of it, not a lot of it, you look at it, it's freeing you. You're not a killer. So I'm freeing you to be a life giver.
Right.
Thou shalt not kill. Now I gotta say it that way because you thought that murder was an option. You thought that murder, even today, right now, in wars and different things, you think that murder is an option or is a pathway or is a means to try to get to what you're trying to get to. No. But I'm trying to free you to be a life giver. I'm trying to free you from being a taker. Don't covet your neighbor's wife. I'm trying to free you from being everything that you are right there with yours.
Yeah.
But you spread yourself thin. I'm talking to some of the cheaters and some of the the ones like you don't even understand what you're doing to yourself. You think you are fulfilling yourself. You think you are getting something, giving yourself an option, and you're sneaking and you're doing these things, but you're really just spreading yourself thin and not being able to be all of who you are. Do you see the trick, EJ? And the reason I call it the hard gospel is because it's really plain and simple that this is the way it goes. There's really no wiggle room for it. Everything outside of that is grace. Which when you're functioning in that grace on the outside of it, giving you a little space and all that. When you're functioning outside of that, most people are functioning in that.
Right.
The hard gospel is almost like this. You ready? This is a good description. Gravity says you have to be a certain way towards gravity. Don't you jump on top of that building.
Because you're coming straight down.
You're coming straight down. And if you live, you're breaking something.
Right.
Like there's hard laws of life that come with the gospel. But what's crazy about it is we in the history of like ever since the tree, which you got to realize, the tree was in the Genesis and in the beginning, but the tree is actually now. We time stack, right? Then it makes us realize that we're choosing these options and we begin to live off the options and not off the truth. The tree of life, tree of knowledge of good and evil. So you knowledge of good and evil. It still don't tell you how to do nothing.
Right.
It don't tell you what's real.
Yeah.
It says knowledge of good and evil, ripe and unripe, right? We talked about that last episode. But you still don't know what the foundation is. And so now this tree births more and more options. Or you can love this person. Or you can be this way. You can change yourself like this. You can have this job. You can be what you want to be. No, you can't be what you want to be because you should be wanting to be who you were made to be. Right. This is what I'm not talking about. I'm talking about there is John 8. He says I know where I come from and I know where I'm going. and I know who sent me, and the one that sent me is with me. What he's trying to say is there's something that was put on the inside of me. We were talking a couple episodes about my burden is light.
Yeah.
There's a level of light that's been put on the inside of you for whatever culture that you're born in, whatever place. Stop complaining about where you were born and who you were born to and how you were born, right? I get it. All of us have had problems. All of us have had drama. No. Let me calm you down. It's ego.
Right.
Let me calm you down. That your situation is not worse than another person. Show me your situation, and I'll show you 1,000 other people that got that same thing or worse. Trust me. And in America, I don't want to hear it. Because,
it gets worse.
Because it gets worse. I don't know why people. But see the trick.
Right.
It's tricky. So the options make you think that you're missing out.
Yep.
So what I do is I get you to run for the options. I get you to go for the tree of knowledge and evil because you think you're missing out. Although God is breathing you and you became a living soul and you got the image of God already and you look just like him and you got every band seed and power to name everything, but you didn't pay attention to the things that you have because you were blinded and deceived by the options. But there is a hard gospel, and the hard gospel actually frees you into who God wants you really to be. Yeah. It's actually better than the things that you're chasing. You get it? But see, people don't want that. What can I tell you why I call it the hard gospel? Because you really don't have no wants.
Exactly.
Those wants that you've been told that you have, they're deceptions and they're optional, but they don't lead to where God, you would hate it if God forced you into your best version of you. Like we live in a society right now where they would hate it if God forced them or controlled them into the best version of themselves. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
You see how we've been flipped in our minds?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about church right now.
Right.
We already talked about the preachers in the church and all that last episode.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about the church culture or whatever it is. But religion is actually a binding or a boundary. Right now, the laws of the land free us. Not all of them, because I know they got some shifty stuff going on. But let's go to the basic laws. Think about some basic laws. What's some basic laws?
Don't murder.
Don't murder. No, but just right now, in just American laws, like the laws, like what you can go to jail for, what you get ticket for.
Run a red light.
Don't run a red light, all right? But
stop at the stop sign.
Okay, but those laws are freeing us to live.
Right.
Like it's freeing me to. I am freed to, and I still got to pay attention because of the foolishness out here. Mm-hmm. But it is somewhat freeing me to be able to drive with my family in a way that I don't have to be worried about getting T-bone,
yep,
or crushed on side of the road or ran into. So when the green light comes on, it frees me to make a move. Now, if you're asking me, I know where we live in, so I still be looking.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck, right? But it is a level of freedom, right? The speed limit, as much as people do it and don't do it, it gives me a level of freedom. I don't know why, man. The last few days, man, ever since we've been with child and everything, I don't know why, but like certain things have been aggravating me on the road. Like I was riding the road today and a dude pulled off, coming through a curve and he tried to pass the other car. And like, where you going that fast? My wife was in the front of me.
Wife.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you could have ran. And it really wasn't that close, but it just aggravated me.
Yeah.
Dude pulled up next to me real fast in the car the other day. And it was aggravating how reckless people can be with these thousands of pound vehicles with gasoline pumping in them that can combust at any minute, right?
Yep.
So what those laws do, the stop signs, the red lights, the speed limits, the police cars, right? What they do is, even though people can see it, what they can feel how they want to feel about whatever, what those laws do is they free me to be, right? They free me and allow me to be functional and to flow the way that I want to. You're right. The way that I need to. The way that is based for me to be able to free and be the best version of me. You get it? They allow me to do it. And truth of the matter is, if I hold my child's hand and keep them from running into the road, EJ, it seems to be that although I am restricting them, right, I'm actually restricting them into life. Because if I allow them to do just whatever it is, right, then I can cause them to expire early and we never get the potential of what God sent down here to be. You get it? And so, but truth of the matter is, but because we live in America, us right now, some people are watching and don't live in America, but because we live in you can have what you want society, and it's such a whacked out way to think. We've come to. I tweeted this the other day, man, and I said most of y'all pastors and your favorite singers are just justice. They just dancing and singing, and you just singing along with them, and you ain't even growing. They ain't even telling you who you really are, and they just want you to sign up for the next concert, come to the next service, pay your next tithes, and nothing's wrong. Tithes is a good thing, but it's like if I'm not growing, then what's the point?
Right.
What's the point of seed if I don't grow?
Right.
Right. And here we are because we they said they're gonna love tickling of the ears. They're gonna be lovers of themselves and not lovers of God. They're gonna go away for a bunch of other things. And this optional society, I also tweeted this, man. I said these clickbait trying to go viral preachers, they might go to hell, boy. I know it's tough, bro, but them clickbait preachers might go to hell, bro, because you're keeping people from growing, man. And God's most important commodity is his greatest currency is the human soul.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're doing stuff to get them to watch you, but it's like you're not telling them the truth that makes them grow.
Yep.
You get it? And I'm not talking about this, I'm not even getting all that about the theologies and all the different people, right? It's just the fact that now we don't want to stick with that hard gospel that says, yo, like, there's a way that seemeth right to man, but the end thereof is death.
Right.
Right? There's a way to do everything.
Yeah.
But Jesus says, I am the way. Right. You get it? If you want to look like God, and what God originally intended for here, right? And what the God in you, if you want that, there's a hard gospel for that. There's a hard way that Jesus is saying right there. It's right there in the middle of what he's saying. And if you read the red words, I don't have to go and quote all the commandments right now. Quote it. If you keep my command, you love me. Yep, if you want to identify with me, love is an identity. Yep. If you identify with me, you'll keep my commandments. Yep. And when you keep my commandments, you're identifying with me. Yep. You get it? I want to say, and I'm saying for the overall church, right? I'm not talking about the church's commandments. I'm talking about Jesus' commandments, God's commandments. You get it? We put them in a box and made organizations and everything. Mm-hmm. And then there's good things that happen that's coming from it, with community, forsake not to assemble yourselves. I get all that, but once again, it's the wingman. I'm supposed to be introducing you to the truth about who God is in you. And there's a hard gospel. It's just a hard cut, and people are trying to get the result. Oh, you ready for this? A lot of times people are trying to get the results of the gospel. John 10. How much time we got left? Because I don't want to get into, you can show me, Jan. All right, well, I can do it real quick. In John 10, Jesus is talking about thief comes not to steal, 10, right? But he starts having this conversation. He's on the good shepherd. Everyone that comes, he said, everyone that comes in another way, they're a thief and a robber. In other words, if you try to come in through the window, try to come in through the side, you got to come through the door. And Jesus says, I am the door, right? Now watch me. It's just not like he says, I am the way, right? Mm-hmm. There are people, and there are sometimes it's us that are trying to get the results of the gospel, but don't want to go through the front door. Yeah. You get it? So I go low here. But hold on, watch this. Depending on your perspective, self can't see. Remember that pod? Yep. Depending on whether you deny yourself or not, you won't see the benefit in this. It'll if you see it based on self, you see control or you see regulation. But if you take self out, you see the freedom to be who you're the best version of who you are. Mm-hmm. You get it? So when you see that, you think, oh, you're just trying to control me to go this way. But this the way. If you would go this way, you see that this is the door that makes you everything you want to be. All the stuff that you're hustling to do, all the things you're trying to occur and grow together and develop and save and put together, that stuff is going to be taken away from you. What moth and rust do corrupt and steal, right? He says it in Matthew 6, right? But if you would understand that there's no other way. I'm not talking about, people think Jesus said, I'm the way, truth and light, no man comes to the Father but by me, and they think he's talking about going to heaven. And very well, okay, cool. But heaven will take care of itself when it's time to take care of. But heaven, thy kingdom come out will be done in earth as it is in heaven right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like when he says he's the way, he's not trying to control you, he's trying to free you. But if you still are living and are entranced with the options, mm-hmm. right? Then you'll think that the narrow way is a controlling. You see how crazy it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
flipped you, and so even saying this right now, I say it because he hears this to hear, let him hear.
Right.
Some people hear it, but for me and for you, and I can only speak for myself. You have to speak for yourself. I'm just going to allow it to happen. I'm going to let it happen.
Yeah, let it happen. Yeah.
And allow myself to walk the narrow way. I'm not trying to walk the narrow way. Like walking the narrow way, you think, oh, I got to walk. It's not really that. It's denying self, dumbing down from all the bullshit, right?
Yeah, basically.
And then realizing that, hold up, this has been the way the whole time.
Yep.
And it's easy to walk this path.
Right.
And everything else has been leading me another direction that ends up, there's a way that seems right, but the end of that way is death. That's way in the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? It's been saying the same thing. And Jesus just becomes the physical culmination of that and saying to you in regular common terms, this is what we're doing. This is what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Right.
That's why we're having these conversations.
Right.
So the hard gospel, you really don't have no choices. But we gotta make you feel like you got options. Make you feel like it's empowering you. We gotta grease you up. No, shut up. Shut up. Stop. Shut up. You're not living the best version of yourself. I don't care how much money you got with it. You're not living the best version of yourself, and it's hurting all of us.
Right.
So what I need you to do is shut up, calm down, and submit, and let it happen now. You get what I'm saying? Man, turn the music on, because it's the hard gospel. You say, what's the hard gospel? The hard gospel is, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. No man comes to the Father but by me. If you believe on me, the works that I do, shall you do also. If you believe in me, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, all these things will be added. Let every man, if he want to come after me, let him deny himself. This is, lose your life to find it. This is the hard gospel, right? But the hard gospel, you ready for this? And I'm going to leave it with this. The hard gospel makes the yoke easy.
Come on.
The hard gospel makes it for an easy lifestyle.
Yep.
Man, turn the music on. There's really no problems.
None at all.
It said the kingdom been there before. man, come on, Michael, because I keep going.
All over the world, I know where you've been. Just bring your boy your problem, I can solve it. It's mine over the body when we're talking. Put me in the game, I bet that you win. Thought you fell in love with here I am to save the day. You ain't gotta ask me, I'm gon' love the pain away. It's no problem, no problem.